everybody, my name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you a channel prediction reading for the 8th of March. Now for anyone new to my channel, I do regular updates just to see how the energy is going around the globe because things can change. If you want to look back and check out some of my other 2022 videos, I've got a lot from the start of the year that you can go and have a look at if you want to get some other predictions. But today I'm just going to be doing for the 8th of March moving forward into the year. Now they're saying that things are on a surface level. So if we think of the surface like the ground, we're only seeing like a snippet. I guess you could almost relate it to an iceberg would be the perfect thing. So they talk about an iceberg, like on the top of the water, you just see this tiny little bit of iceberg. But then when they show you the actual picture, there's this huge part of the iceberg beneath the water. So that's kind of the image that they're giving me. And the image that they're relating this to is about information. So we still have an enormous amount of information that is being hidden from us beneath the surface. So we're getting these little snippets of information, and I think we can all sort of see, like we've sort of found out a lot recently about the World Economic Forum, and there's a lot about the Great Reset going on, and there's also a lot of adverse reactions coming out around Pfizer, and they're sort of giving us little snippets, but again they're fact checking, and a lot of this is kind of disappearing really quickly, and they're putting out the spot fires. But we're definitely getting little bits now, but they're still showing me, like the iceberg, there's an enormous amount that we don't know about beneath the surface. Ooh, and that's kind of scary thought, isn't it? I thought all with the reset and that was a lot to kind of deal with, but you sort of think, what more can there be? But maybe this is kind of around the finances and the kind of things, the digital platforms and what they're kind of implementing. That could be some of the examples of what's beneath the surface that we're not seeing. Because really, if you think about it, we don't have those truths. We only sort of going by the snippets of information that we're receiving. So a lot can be hidden without people knowing about it, because we have to remember this has been a very big planned agenda, and it's not some little agenda that they've just decided to implement overnight. This has been in the making for a number of years. Now somebody asked me about the Canada housing the other day, and look, to be honest, housing around the globe is a massive, massive issue. I've talked about finances a lot. This year's going to be a real year where people are going to come unstuck. There's going to have to be a lot of financial settlements. Housing prices are going through the roof. And again, this is how, well, interest rates as well are going up, but this is how they gain control of the financial sector, because they get control of the money. So this is kind of what they're showing me. Like if they can get the house prices to rise up, people give them in, the bank gets the money. It's kind of like a win-win for them. So it's like they're building their assets. So this is how they'll go about building their own assets. And this, I'm talking about the elites. The elites and the people who are running the show are going to start to build their financial system. And this is what we're going to start seeing in 2022. There's going to be, oh gosh, I don't even think it's going to be gradual. I think it's going to be very swift. They're going to make real swift action. Financially, there's going to be big changes in 2022. And I've been saying that for a while. There's going to be a lot of collapse, and this is on a real global scale. This is not just in different countries. This is going to be that global, it's kind of saying like the melting pot, where everything just gets put into this melting pot and all melted together. It's like that regrouping of the finances. That's what I'm getting there. They're trying to bring all the finances together, and that's how they'll gain that control. So if you own something, that's the best way to do it, is to actually try and own as much as you can, so things can't be taken from you. I talk about not getting into too much debt this year. that's some advice I would definitely give you, like massive car loans or, excuse me, tired energy. I'm always getting tired energy. Everybody's very tired from all this, from all the thinking. It's the thinking that is taking a toll on people. Definitely not borrowing extra money on top of your home loan to do like renovations or extensions. I wouldn't be doing that this year, because this is the sort of thing that's going on. Like in Canada, they froze the bank accounts of people who had donated money. So now that's made everybody cautious as well of who they donate to and what they are involved with. And that's something that people have now got very, very cautious about, particularly in Canada. I know you guys, gosh, we've had floods here, and I said to Tim, gosh, I won't be donating any money to like the Red Cross or anything like that, because you can't trust them. Where's that money going to go? Where's it going to end up? So this is sadly what our world is becoming now. The control of the finances is just becoming very obvious and very clear to most people now. So just something to really think about. Like I said, do a bit of your research on that. I feel like England, like the UK, is going through a bit of a change. They've been pretty dormant for a while now, but I feel like there's going to be a few changes happening there. It's sort of saying like the changing of the guard. So I'm not sure with Boris if he's going to be ousted. He's still got, like, it's kind of weird there because he's still quite liked. I feel like some people really like Boris. Like, he's been outside the mould. I think that's what I'm probably trying to say there. Boris Johnson is outside the mould. He's not your typical kind of prime minister, and he has got a following. There's people that want him out, but I guess that comes back to what are your choices? Who's the other person to put in? Like, do you think they're going to be a safe bet? Like, or are they more of a dictator? Like, these are the kind of things I think in the UK and England people are kind of weighing up. Now, I'm not sure when your voting happens over there, but these are the things that are playing out in people's minds in England and like the UK, that there's a lot of this like decision making around their leaders and how to move forward and who's going to be I think because people have become very aware of the plans that are moving forward and they don't want to be dictated to, but it's like who's going to, if we do have to put someone in, who's going to be the softest energy in implementing things. I think that's what I'm getting for the UK and like England. Now I'm getting that there's a lot of like foreign correspondence. So I'm feeling like these elites are communicating a lot, and I think we're not aware of all the communication that's going on in the background. They're having a lot of Zoom calls. There's a lot of checking in. I feel like that's happening a lot. They're checking in with how things are going, and they're kind of encouraging each other, and they're working on strategies now to kind of move forward. I think we all know, like with Canada and Trudeau, what actually went on over there has really highlighted to the people the truths about what's kind of unfolding before our very eyes. So I feel like in the background there's a lot of this foreign correspondence going on where they're all touching base. It's almost to me like a regroup meeting. So they're regrouping and they're trying to look at other avenues and ways they can direct, like I said, that last bit of the reset. They've already pretty much tackled the things they wanted to, but it's like that bottleneck where they're trying to squeeze it out the top of the bottle. Everything's like, yeah, how do we get through that last phase without sort of upsetting everybody? Because they can see that with people rising, particularly the Canadian truckers and all around the globe, gosh, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, everywhere has stood up without creating any more of a like mass movement. I feel like that's really going on in the background. There's a lot of this. It's almost like they're showing me like a band-aid or like bandaging something up. So they're quickly doing a bit of a first aid now on how they're gonna like implement these last bits And they're quite challenged by it. Like these protest marches and people standing up have really tested them, because it's caused them a lot of frustration. Any of these global leaders like Trudeau, Jacinda Ardern, I think even Macron's had to take a step back, like I said, and assess the situation and how he's going to move forward. There's a lot of this going on, and I think there's a lot of background communication going on involving, obviously, Klaus, and they're trying to just sort of ride through that last wave and sort of come into the shore, because they know if they push this the wrong way, it's going to cause more people to rise up, and they don't want that. They want to keep these groups as minority, or in Canada, as they say, a small fringe minority. That's what they're wanting. They don't want them to grow in size, because then they start, the balance isn't right. They want these people still ostracized and vilified and kept segregated from society, because that's how they regain their strength and keep their strength. So I definitely feel like there's a lot of this Zoom meetings, Zoom calls, support for each other. That's definitely going on in the background, and that could also be part of the iceberg with all the things that are going on beneath the surface that we're actually not seeing. Just see what else comes through today. Now, I keep getting rain. I'm getting rain here. Like, it's actually raining outside today, and it's beautiful. I have a tin roof, so I can hear it on the roof. Now, rain is very cleansing. Now, we've got a lot of that going on here in Australia. We've actually got floods, enormous amount of floods. In fact, it has even wiped towns out. That's how high these floods have got. So we've got this abnormal amount of rain, precipitation, and people are starting to question a lot of these things as well. We know that they're really heading down the climate change agenda, and all these things seem to come along very conveniently at the time of pushing climate change agendas. So we have to actually sort of take a lot of these things with a grain of salt as well. We do get cycles of climate. I really believe that. You know, here we have fires, we have rain, and I know you guys do over there as well. We all get extreme weather sometimes, and then it just plateaus out. But they'll always use these things to push their agenda. So that's something to really be aware of when you're getting extreme climate, or there's something that doesn't feel quite right, that this is when they start to push their agenda. They'll start to push that we've got to do this. And this is, like I said the other day in Queensland, she did a lockdown because they had the floods, and then she didn't want them cleaning up because there was another storm predicted. So she put everyone in lockdown and stopped them cleaning up. So this is how ridiculous our world is getting now. They're looking at even climate to implement lockdowns. So they will look at whatever they can to keep isolating people, keep segregating people, and they're going to use whatever avenues they can, because that is how they keep their strength, and that is how these leaders and these people that are trying to implement the reset keep their agenda going, by creating lockdowns, by hiding people away, by keeping people vilified and ostracized, and that's how they keep their strength. Because a lot of these people, you got to remember that they've been in a mass psychosis, and they're trying to maintain the psychosis. But a lot of people are waking up. I don't know how that actually works, to be honest. It's almost like hypnosis. If anyone knows anything out there, leave me some comments below, because I'd love to hear your opinion on that, because this mass psychosis has really worked in Australia. It has completely brainwashed people to the point that they are completely hypnotized. I had my birthday, for example, the other day, and I know I talked to you a lot out there about that, and I have friends that have been in my life for like 20 years living here, and I was flat out getting a Facebook message off them for my birthday. Like every year we go out for dinner, we all do something, and that is what is still going on here in Australia. People are still scared to come near anyone who's unjabbed, and it's just, it's a crazy, crazy concept, but it's very, very real, and that's something that you have to think about when they're starting to work the climate change and working these avenues. It's just that way of really keeping that fear going. And I mean, obviously Russia, Ukraine, that's a huge one, because you got that nuclear threat, like I said the other day. But be aware that these lockdowns are all starting to come into other avenues of our life. And that's what I'm definitely seeing. That's another thing that they're not even hiding it. They're just using climate change as their excuse to keep people separated again. And that's just good to be aware of that. Anyway, the message really today is no more hiding. Don't hide away. I know a lot of us have had to hide away. This has been really, really tough. I always talk about getting that support. That's really important. The guides are saying that's crucial to the survival of moving forward. Do not isolate yourself, because that is what they're wanting us to do. Keep getting around like kind. Keep building your strength up. This is in your body as well. So stay strong. Keep your exercise up. Eat well. Talk about things. Talking gets things out of your head and your body, and it improves how you're feeling. Gosh, talk to me. I love hearing from you guys. I love chatting to all my subscribers. It's brilliant, from all over the world. I've got more friends around the world than I have in my own hometown now. So that's kind of crazy. I'm sure you can relate to that as well. But yeah, just that's the message really from the guys today. Just stay strong, keep supported, keep tapping around, keep sharing those messages, because that's the crucial part that's waking people up. And I still get this message of the Great Awakening. So somewhere I'm even confused. I said to my husband last night, like, we know there's the Great Reset, but I said, how come I still keep getting these messages of the Great Awakening? And so I'm still like trying to figure out the balance of this. Like, is this process about the Great Reset, or is the Great Reset being implemented to create the Great Awakening? So I'm going to finish on that note today, because it's a little bit of something to think about, because I don't know why I keep getting the message of the Great Awakening and which is which purpose. So anyway, even I'm confused. So hit the like buttons. Look, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Take care, everybody. Stay strong. I know this is tough, but we are making some real inroads, and we're in that battle for our lives now. We want our freedoms back. And look, like I said, the fake normal is here, but it's not quite the new normal, as we know about the visual of the iceberg and everything that's going on underneath the surface. So take care. I'll talk to you soon, and bye from Australia. Bye.